All right.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Excellent. I'm having ice cream. So.
I'm having ice cream too.
All right. What
Yeah.
are you having?
I'm having the rosemary brown sugar ice cream.
Shocking. I'm having the exact same.
Wow,
thing.
that's crazy.
Only because she recommended. Right. But the reason we're here today is to record our journey of Sabrina teaching me her ways.
And Anuj teaching me his ways.
No, and that's actually false because our calendar invites do say Sabrina teaches Anuj her
Oh,
ways. So
I have it as Serena and Anuj.
So if you're wondering what this is all about, this is to capture a reverse mentoring journey by Sabrina to me.
Yes.
And you don't know it yet, but Sabrina's in the ninth grade.
Yeah, I'm 15.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm kind of on the other side of 15, just a little bit closer to her dad's age, but that's how we met. Sabrina's dad and I are fellow marketing nerds. And we were at the coffee house, actually not too far down the street.
Gallery House, shout out, they're awesome.
Yes, absolutely. And it was there where we talked about what everybody's talking about, AI nowadays, and that's when he revealed to me that Sabrina had created this custom GPT that took some McKinsey training and made it into a role-playing game. Is that right?
Yeah. And I have a Taylor Swift GPT. I have a lot of GPTs that are useful to my life.
Right. So I heard this and I'm like, what? Tell me again how old she is. And he said, oh, she's 15. She's in the ninth grade. I'm like, huh. So, my feelings of being obsolete were, kind of peaking at that point, at that revelation. And, that stuck with me for a little while. And then I was at another marketing gathering with Sabrina's dad, and I met this other person, Brady Sadler. So shout out Brady, who at one point ran the world's biggest music podcast called Disgraceland. And I was telling him about, hey, I'm thinking of doing this reverse mentoring thing with Sabrina because this whole AI thing I'm still not latching onto it properly, right? And he's looking at me like I'm this dumbass, right? And I'm like, what? And he's like, that's a podcast. You should make that into a podcast. And like, light bulb and everything. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. And so instantly told Sabrina's dad.
And I'm a big listener of podcasts. I listen to podcasts 24/7, big NPR fan. And I've been using, so my dad, when I was in 7th grade, gave me an OpenAI key. And so he was like, okay, go wild, don't use it for school assignments. And obviously, like, I don't. I use it for other idiotic purposes to make a GPT that analyzes Taylor Swift songs with AP English vocabulary, other things like that. But yeah, so I've just been playing and experimenting with AI. I have no formal training or anything. I've learned via doing, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, so why wouldn't I do this, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is just amazing.
Our goal is to learn by doing together.
Correct, right? And so, we sort of had to figure out how this whole thing is going to work, right? And so, she didn't quite know it at the time as to why this thought had come into my brain. So we had to have a whole meeting about, hey, are you even open to doing this? And working with this old fogey to teach him things. And of course, she was more than open to it. But when you experience things in your life a little bit more, you get biases, which just are kind of ingrained, and you have ways of learning which are really hard to break out of, right? And that was my goal from this, was to sort of get a completely radically different perspective on things, and thankfully Sabrina was really, really open to saying, okay, I think there's something we can both learn from this thing, which was really awesome.
Yeah, and I know that Anuj is really good at building things, and I was like, I want to use AI to build something, and I want to make something. Like, I have all of these ideas, and I have all of the resources. I just don't know how to combine them. So I think it's the combination, and then the skills themselves, which we're both working on together.
Correct. So some of the things, I think we were trying to explore first, even before getting to what is the thing we will even do is trying to even understand what our perspectives were, right? So I needed to understand, like, how do you use AI today? Like, what's your perspective on it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or even what about it do you like or not like? What's most exciting, to you? How do your friends use it? How do you use it? And you said some pretty interesting things that you did share.
Yeah, so I would argue that I use AI differently than a lot of my peers just because I run Lexington250.com for the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Lexington. And so the way I use AI is going to be different than my peers who are using it for schoolwork and just like for their TikTok accounts and other things like that. So I use AI to come up with new content ideas, to come up with blog posts, ideas on how to like fix things if something goes wrong on the website, and just really everything. It's just a really great assistant tool because I do everything by myself and I'm just kind of a one-man show. So yeah, but we were talking about like, oh, what do people think about AI? And a lot of people don't approve of it. Like, not everyone's happy with it. A lot of people, especially artists who are like in my grade, don't really understand like kind of the difference between AI art and real art, right? We're not saying that like ChatGPT is going to become the new Picasso. Not what we're saying here. There's a time and a place. But yeah, we were discussing like how my generation views AI and how my generation views like the usage. And I think it's kind of a mindset thing of like, I use AI as a tool and they use AI as a crutch.
Which, unsurprisingly, is exactly what happens with marketers and growth people right now. It's almost taken over their brains, right? In a way, and instead of using it as an assistant,
Yeah.
it's become the thing they rely on and the end all be all of everything. Which is why all marketing starts to look and sound the same, right? All of these landing pages people come up with, the ads,
Yeah.
the creatives, you can tell, oh, that's
ChatGPT.
right. So it's and these are behaviors that are very easy to latch onto because it makes things so easy,
Yeah.
right? And if it's starting at the grade school level,
Yeah, exactly. Like
you can imagine
kids
how
who are
much
younger
worse.
than me, like 10, 11. Because we all have access to the internet, right?
Right.
It was like, it's only because I kind of learned via playing, and my dad was like, okay, here, it's actually not like fully done. I had AI a year earlier than everyone else did. So like, that's the difference that we're talking about here. Like, it's insane what can happen technologically in a year.
Totally, right. And so, I'm hearing all of this, also drawing parallels, to my world, right? And before I say anything else, she just completely ran past I run Lexington 250. Like, she's like the unofficial brand ambassador for the town of Lexington, Massachusetts, all right?
Colorado, yes.
Yeah. She's got her own Shopify store. She's got how many TikTok followers? Like,
A lot.
yeah, right. Like the New York Times has interviewed her. Like, yeah. So I'm telling you, I'm making out like a bandit here, by the way. Right. But as she was saying all of this, right, it's the thought in my brain was like, okay, like if you already find yourself ahead of the curve, in most cases, what then becomes mutually exciting, for both of us. And I think for me the bigger challenge was, can I literally open my mind out to whatever you're saying and not fall into the trap of interjecting whatever little I've learned in it, right? And I know it may not come across that way, but that's a giant challenge for me to keep my mouth shut and let you talk. Right? And so that's sort of a journey we try to document here, right? And as you will see with more and more episodes, what we'll walk you through is all of the decision making that we ran through, ideas we pitched each other, things that excited us, even about fields we knew nothing about. Right, and I think that's part of the process for me is just keep an open mind to everything, right? And at the same time, also be open to these almost tangents that seem to come out of your mouth,
Yeah.
right? Which I'm not prepared for, which is
And also
awesome.
following up on things. Like if you think something's interesting, like pulling on that thread is really important to us. So do we want to talk a little bit more about like what this is and like what our future is?
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, so we have some ideas. And by the end of this process, this is our documenting, this is us documenting like our journey, our AI journey together. But specifically, we, as I mentioned before, like I learned all of this AI stuff via doing something. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to build something. We're not sure what yet. And we've been doing a little bit of research in specific fields that we both kind of, we know equally not as much about. Neither of us know anything about a lot of things. But yeah, so we're trying to find something like that. And we're trying to make something that's AI based and that actually is useful.
Yeah, and I think for me the goal isn't as much, does this become a thing?
Yeah.
Right. As much as what did we learn
Through the
doing
process.
this, and did we hit those goals of?
Could it be a thing?
Great if it does.
Yeah.
Right. Happy bonus. But I think the bigger thing is did we learn the thing we set out to learn,
Yeah.
which is how do we actually build a thing?
Yeah.
Right. And what are all the traps that are waiting for pretty much anybody?
Yeah.
Right. So expect a lot of falling down.
And getting back up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and so at the end of this, we'll somehow figure out how to distribute this thing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's episode 1 intro. Right.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Absolutely. See you soon.
See ya.